Oh, hello. Hi. So we are doing a collective reading today, so you're going to want to stick around, just hang out. I'm just shuffling up some decks. We have a new moon. We just went through that new moon, and I kind of felt like I needed to do a reading for the collective, for us, whoever shows up here. So say hello, let me know where you're from when you pop in. I'm going to get this ready for a couple minutes, and then we'll do the live. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello. Hi. I am just shuffling up my decks. I'll show you which ones I'm using in just a second. So you're going to want to stick around. I'm going to be doing a collective reading. I have my Moonology Oracle deck. I have a couple Oracle decks and my my trusty tarot. So I'm going to use that. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you? All right. Yeah. So we have a new moon, new energy. You guys probably have been feeling that we have been being pushed to shed a lot of blocks, a lot of limited beliefs, push through things. A lot of our, this was like such an amazing new moon because a lot of our soul contracts with people that no longer need to be in our lives are now over. So some of you are probably feeling that. Arkansas, Maryland, hello. Hello guys, thanks so much for joining. All right, I'm in Southwest Florida, right along the Gulf Coast. I'll say, knock on wood, we've been really lucky as far as hurricane season goes this year. But, you know, you never know, it's not over until December, I guess. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you could double tap the screen and like this, I would so much appreciate it while I get ready for your reading. I'll show you a couple of the decks that I'm using today. Thank you for liking. Thank you, guys. Oh, you guys are so amazing. Oh, thank you. Hey Shelby, how are you? Welcome. I'm doing a reading for the collective. We have a new moon, a lot of changes going on in our energies. You guys, I know you feel it. I know you feel it. And some of you probably felt stuck. Some of you probably got pushed through it and you didn't want to or didn't even know what was happening, right? Hey, from Philly. So I'm going to show you a couple of the decks that I'll be reading tonight with. This one is my all-time favorite. This deck right here, this is, oh, it was like the very first deck oracle cards I ever started with, and beautiful animals, spiritual sayings and stuff on them. So what I normally do is I use like 7+ different oracle decks. Hey, from New Zealand. Hey, Kelsey, I just saw you. Oh, hey, Serena, how are you? Thank you so much for being here, guys. So we're doing a collective reading right now. I do have $15 micro readings available in my bio, but we can talk about that later because I got a couple new decks. Okay, so I got this Green Witch Oracle deck, and it's actually like a medicinal, has medicinal plants in it as well. So I'm going to be using that. I have the Soul's Journey. Now this deck is very straightforward. One word on this deck that's really gonna it hits you deep when you use it. So I'll be making those more available to you guys. But overall, I know we all need some self-love. We all need to do some more digging into self-love, okay? Now, we cannot fully love another person, you guys, until we love ourselves completely. So I brought my beautiful rose quartz tower out here for us for this reading, and I'm just gonna like share this energy with you guys like right now. So if you have to like hover over your screen, I'm going to just like send you this energy, all this love for yourself, love, acceptance of who you are, okay? That's so important. So yeah, you know, for beginners, Honestly, I do have the, I don't have it out here, but I guess I would recommend this for a beginner, okay? Spirit Animal Oracle. And I'll tell you why. Because on these cards, they have sayings on the bottom. They're not too long where you have to like stop and read a whole sentence and think about it. It's just a couple words, enough words that can spark a sentence. And a lot of the time it's cards where you can pull up one card and then pull up another card and like they're finishing each other's sentences. So like these cards do that for you if you're just like kind of new to it and you're like, okay, how do I start putting these messages together? Which I'm going to start doing a lot more teaching of that because that's really important to try to understand. So I would definitely recommend that. So thanks for asking, Serena. I'll throw some more up there. I'll do some, you know, I'll do some things on the side for you guys, those who are looking for maybe using your spiritual gifts for your profession every day. I had my class last night, which went amazing. It's learning to basically go through this awakening process to find your psychic self, you know, and not everyone has a super depth of psychic abilities, but we all do have a certain degree of them. And you know, you may not want to get to the end of this journey to be a psychic, but you can use your abilities in your profession everyday life. Okay, whether you're an interior designer and you just have a visual and image of what your client wants because you're in tune with them, your intuition is on point, you know, like whether you're a chef or a private chef or I mean, there's so many ways that we can use our intuition or psychic abilities to make our profession flow freely and happy and just be easy, you know. That's what we want, right? We all want to have this profession that makes us money and it's easy, right? So thank you, beautiful wife. So which cards do we talk about? So I'm going to show you. So this is the Enchanted Map deck. Okay, this is amazing. Like, I do need to use the book a lot for this one, I'll say, because they just have like words on the bottom. So like if I'm doing a reading with multiple cards, sometimes I just consider these words like to spark an idea or to connect the dots. But if I'm just pulling one card for myself, I would probably use the book just to get the full scope of things, especially because it's a new deck, you know. Like, you can expect to use this or a book. Hey, sensitive soul searching. You can expect to use the book when you first get a deck for like a while, like just because you know, mediums or tarot readers, oracle readers you don't see them using the book all the time like we do. We use it if we really want to know like a strict meaning. So, all right, so I'm gonna select some cards. Spirit. I have actually a lot of angels with me right now. I feel like there's a lot of like soul energy around me. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's because like it's from you guys, I feel like. Like, okay, don't forget this in the message for her. Don't forget this in the message for him. All right. All right. So on Tuesdays and Fridays, just to let you guys know, I do $15 micro readings. Those, that's available now through the link in my bio. I'll keep that up after the live too for you guys, just so you don't have to miss the live. All right. Oh, hello. Thanks so much for joining. I am doing a collective reading for this new moon energy that we have. I'm just going to set the rest of my cards out. I appreciate a like and a share if you guys can. All right, just a few more cards I'm going to pull. Okay. Okay, so this is starting to look like it's like a big decision, a moving forward decision, or something about changing your behavior, and like the fear holding you back. Excuse me. Thank you for the roses, guys, and thank you so much for the likes. Ooh. Oh my gosh, you're not even gonna believe this, okay? See, this is why I like to use multiple decks, okay? Because I have cards that say the same thing on here. Okay, so this message is definitely specific, and I'm going to say that whew, there's, if you can't take, oh boy, if you can't take away this entire message, there's definitely something in this for you if you're in this room right now. There's intent behind this, okay? So however you found this, stick around. I'm doing this reading, all right? These are this, the Green Witch. See, I have like herbs or fruits, words, things like that. Okay. And, all right. Okay, so I have to say that a lot of you have this idea, like I feel it in my head where, okay, if I'm embodying you, it feels like I have a vision of the future. I have a vision of how, like, oh my gosh, I know I would love to do this if it like fit my schedule, only if it would bring in this amount of money, only if, like, how is it going to start? How am I going to switch? How is that lifestyle going to fit into the lifestyle that I have right now? And it's either those types of thoughts of changing jobs or professions, or some of you just have a big decision. It's either a move or something about a change in lifestyle. It just feels like it's a overall behavioral type of change. Okay, it's not something that's going to quitting your job. Yeah, that's definitely something that we're talking about here. So this is not something to be taken lightly, and I feel like it's something that you're going back and forth with, but it has to do with like your life and making your life better. Okay, so whatever that is, if you're changing jobs, if you're moving, if you're going to try to work from home, if you are a stay-at-home parent and you want to incorporate your own creativity into that and somehow make a profession out of it or make money, or you want to be the breadwinner and you want your spouse to stay home, like whatever it is, like whatever the passion is, there's something, I feel it, that is it. The fear, okay, I'm getting that there's a lot of worry, okay, and I'm just going to jump the gun right now and tell you that there's a win-win in the forecast for you with this idea, okay? So the ideas and the stuff that you have going on in your head, like there's a reason that you're seeing it, all right, and you don't have to know the next step. You don't have to be able to put it down on paper, okay? Like, look at both of these two cards I got. They both say slow and steady, all right? I have this turtle that says slow and steady wins the race, all right? And then I have this that says slow and steady. So to me, this is just telling me, like, you're just used to that instant gratification of, like, maybe it's not instant, but, you know, you put in a job application and then you hear back and you get the job and you start getting paid right away. The paychecks come in and it's constant, okay? I get that. We're used to that idea of how it's going to start. Now, it may not start that way. There's this energy of, like, building momentum because, you know, if you think about a job that pays you like that, there's also a cap on it. Okay, someone's telling you can only make this much per hour. Someone's telling you can only make this much per week, even with overtime, this much per year. So there is a cap. There's a limited belief on that, even though it's easy to get in. It's very wishy-washy. It's very wiggly. We bounce around from different jobs, yada, yada, yada. We're looking for that happiness, right? We're following the money, but we're looking for the happiness. This needs to be like the complete opposite. Okay, we need to start following the creativity, and we have to understand that this is a slow and steady paced race here because, well, we're not really racing anyone because we have to get rid of that competition in our minds. Like, we are unique. You are unique. All right. It is going to take a lot of discipline. Okay. So you are going to have to do a lot of changing your mentality about, you know, because think about this. If you're used to your 9-to-5 job and then you come home on the weekends when you don't work, you want to relax, you want to not do anything. But after you switch that role to where you're home all the time, you might fall back into that grind of being I don't want to say lazy, but like the ideas of like, oh, I don't have to do anything today, like let's relax. So I do feel like you do need a little bit of discipline as far as maybe organizing. Okay, this is a space where I can create, where I can go, where I can make it. Yes, this is exactly what you're going through. This is why we're here, guys. Like, it's like intent is not hard to understand in the sense that when people make an intent, we meet. We all meet. All of us are meeting here. We all had intent of somehow to meet here, to hear this message, whatever this message was. It's obvious what this message is here, okay? Now, I also have to tell you that you have to believe in yourself a little bit more than you are, and stop like scrolling on Pinterest and seeing if other people are doing what you're doing, or stop and then like when you realize like, oh, nobody's really doing that, or is this really working? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just do whatever it is that you feel. If you have to copy someone and do their same techniques, do it. If you have to fake it till you make it, do it. Like, it's that mindset that you have to put into the work. It's the discipline is the mindset as well. Okay, you don't ever stop manifesting. You can't ever stop manifesting. You just have to sorry about that. Okay, this is the best thing you can ever remember when you're working for yourself or you're making your career your passion, and people are going to be attracted to the passion, okay? Now, you cannot rest on your trophies. Okay, what that means is we're going to be manifesting and manifesting and manifesting, and then boom, it's going to happen. And then we're just going to like love it and love it and love it, and we're going to forget all that hard work that we did in order to get it, and remember that momentum and law of attraction. What you're putting into it is what you're getting from it. So just know that you are going to have ups and downs, because you need to learn that stuff. You can't just take the mindset that you're in now and poof, like here you are in the environment that you've always wanted. Like, you have to learn how to live that way. You have to learn how to be that way. And it's more than just everyday motions. It's a mindset. Okay. It's like this. If you, let's say that you are low class, as far as income, your entire life, whatever that means to you. Okay. Now you win the lottery. Okay. And in 10 years from winning the lottery, you're broke again. And the reason being is no one ever taught you how to spend money. No one ever taught you what to do with money. So if you aren't able to change the behaviors and change the perspective and the mindsets before all that amazing stuff comes into your life, then it might just turn into a lesson instead of a destiny, if that makes sense. So we want to go slow and steady. You want to go slow, and you want to, have gratitude along the way for the leaps and the bounds and the lessons that you've learned and what it's taught you. Even if it's negative, even if you think it's negative, it's not. It's all blessings in disguise. You have to learn somehow. And in this point in your life, once you've turned that negative thought into positive, it's almost like you've purified your thoughts. Like, moving forward is a brand new life, and you can't look backwards. Okay? When you start to look forward and say, I want this new life, don't look back and say, oh my gosh, I've done this before and this is what happened. No, you're a new person. This is a new lifestyle. This is a new intent. This is new karma. This is positivity. It's not negativity. So don't look to the past. You have to make new memories. You have to make new lessons, new experiences. All right. Now, I am getting the abundant universe will provide. So for some of you who are worried, like, okay, so some of you that are worried, the universe will take care of you. Whatever it is, your angels will pop messages into your head, whatever it is, whether it's to sell something or to make something, or even if you do have to get a certain job, or a job will fall into your lap or something. Okay, let me tell you really quickly something that may not happen to everyone, but it did happen to me, so I'm gonna tell you it because it's true. Now, I had left a narcissistic relationship, and I was left with all the bills, like 2 car payments, like a huge house, pool house, everything. And I was a teacher. I didn't make a lot of money. I was a high school teacher in Title I school. And, I was at the grocery store one day, and there was a young girl in front of me, and she had a grocery cart full of baby products and food and stuff like that, and her credit card was declined, and she was calling her boyfriend over and over, or her father, I don't know who it was, but she was calling and they were not picking up and not picking up. So whatever the case may be, I don't care whatever her story was. I felt in my heart that I needed to help her. So it was only $100, even though it was like the last $100 I had. I knew I wasn't going to make rent anyway, so I paid for her groceries. And I think a week later, really, when I was down to the wire, I went and got the mail that day, and it turned out that my ex had wrongfully gotten a loan out in my name while we were together that I didn't know of. And it turns out that the company were like, I guess you could call them loan sharks. The interest was so high that there was a class action lawsuit that I was a part of. And I got like $1,000 check in the mail like 2 weeks later, and I was able to pay my rent and pay my bills and things like that. And, you know, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to everyone, but that's just something small. Like, you know, my husband and I, at one point, we were like buying like empty freight or unclaimed freight, and inside of it were like, oh my gosh, so many like bottles of tattoo ink that we used to sell as art supplies that we donated to schools, things like that. Like, it became a revenue of income for us for a little while. So things will pop up. You just have to be looking for them, and you have to be like, okay, like, I can take this, I can do something with it, even though it may not be leading you to your destiny per se. Like, I'm obviously not selling art supplies or tattoo ink now, but it taught me e-commerce. It taught me so many things that I need to know today. Okay? So think of yourself, start thinking of yourself as a tree. Okay? I don't have a picture of a tree except for this right here, which is the only card that I have not talked about. Okay, Gentle Gardener. Like I said, it's a brand new deck. So now, if you think about a tree has many roots. Okay, now when I started my journey, I made rings. I wire wrapped rings in jewelry. I made wands. I painted. I did artwork. I did resin work. I did all kinds of things. So many things, and I tried to sell them all, and I went to craft shows, and I was creative, and I shared my creativity with people, and although like none of those hit big, they all became small, gentle flowing revenues for me that were basically creating the root systems of my tree. So although, you know, the painting never ended, I'm not a famous painter, okay, that's just part of my root system. That's just part of me. Okay, so if you feel like you're jumping around from things, like you have an idea and then you move, and you have an idea and you move, and you have an idea and you move, like, that is okay. That is part of this whole process. Now, I'll also tell you a trick that I did was when I started to be creative, I didn't just dive in and spend a bunch of money on all kinds of different things. Okay, what I did was I jumped into a few things, and I said, okay, I'm going to sell everything I make, and whatever I make money backwise, I will pay for more crafts. So basically, after a while, I had this ledger of like selling the things that I make just to get money to be creative again, you know, and that was fulfilling enough in that sense, because I didn't have a job. I was a stay-at-home mom at that point. So the abundant universe will provide for you. So get rid of that worry, get rid of that fear, okay? Because the worrying does not change the outcome. You know that. You know that always happens. And if you have to go ahead and think of every possible scenario and be okay with it first, fine. But it's still probably not going to be the scenario that happens at the end. And you know that because it happens way too often, right? But whatever does happen is okay, because we just have to keep saying, like, nothing is negative in our life, blessings in disguise. All right. So if I have to pick the best cards here, okay, a win, whatever your idea is, whether it's moving, whether you want to change careers or change jobs, or you have an idea of being creative, okay, it's a win-win, okay, and the universe will provide for you if you cannot. All right, the earth is amazing. I mean, I sell rocks and crystals on my website. I mean, that comes from the earth. It comes from the earth. Like, our earth is amazing. There's so many, we just have to see the beauty in it instead of always assuming that it's something that has to be, you know, really hard to achieve or really hard to do. We have to get those limited beliefs out of our minds. All right, guys, and I'll tell you the best way moving forward, the fastest way to proceed is to always have gratitude every single day for whatever it is, even if it was a lesson that you learned. Thank you so much for teaching me this lesson, because if it was way down the road, it probably could have been even more detrimental. Like the first time I printed more than one label at a time and I mailed the wrong boxes to the wrong people. I will never do that again. But I had no idea what I was doing. So I had to learn all of these things along the way. Okay, it's kind of like purifying. I have this purification card and I can't help but thinking of like, you are like purifying yourself. You are starting fresh. You are starting over, and it's okay to start over. It's like those art projects that you get all the way into and you're like, this is just not turning out the way I want it. It's okay to just start over. Sometimes you can't make it into what you want. You have to start over, and that's okay. All right. So I hope you guys benefit from this reading, and if any of you have, questions, I am a psychic medium. I do medical fertility reading, or medical and fertility, any physical or mental energy readings. I also use tarot, so I'm pretty good with relationships and intent of people. I also read children who are nonverbal. I can help with any questions that you have about things that they're feeling or thinking that they don't communicate with you, career, finance, things. So I'm clairvoyant. I get visions first and foremost, and then I use tarot to kind of clarify and get the big picture. So I'll be doing a lot more classes. If you want to check out my website, it's intuitioncc.com. It's right on my bio if you just want to head there later and check it out. It's my personal website. You can get readings there. There's a lot of crystals and just different opportunities to connect with me. So I do appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope that you use this new moon wisely and manifest, because if you still feel like there's some things creeping behind you that you're worried about, it's because you haven't shed them, and the new moon is wanting you to just shed this, because new stuff needs to come into your life. Okay, and we can't just keep piling stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will keep being myself. I will keep being myself. Yep. That is not hard. That's what we all want to achieve, right? We just all want to be ourselves and live, every day. And a part of our fears is lack. Okay? Like, we are built on a society of money, and like the biggest fear we have is not having enough. But the universe will provide. Sorry, that was a cough. That wasn't a laugh. Sorry. Just wanted to show some love, even though I'm down today. Everyone deserves love. Yes, everybody deserves love, and we even have to be grateful for the people that we didn't get along with, because they probably taught us something too, like teaching us boundaries, or teaching us a little bit more about ourselves or our temper, or whatever the case may be, but I think the problem is we have been tainted with the criticism of society and talking. We should always be, constructive. We even made it sound good. It's just constructive criticism, hello, why can't I just live and be me and no one say anything about it, right? We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. But you have to shed all of that stuff. And if you don't know what you want to do, you got to start by loving yourself and thinking about yourself. It's exhausting worrying so much, but you are never without, right? So why are you worrying, right? Like, I'm telling you, like, there's so much stuff, and you're going to get to a point in this ascension that the stuff that you have around you, one, you could probably sell it. Two, you don't even need it. So there's income right in front of you that you hold on to and you don't even realize it. So it's not just about how much stuff can we take in so that we can sell it in that sense. Sometimes we already have everything we need to be successful. And when I was being creative, I used to say that to myself all the time. I would be like, okay, I have this idea to make this. I've got to already have the stuff. And if I don't, how can I use what I have? All right. So Sometimes you don't always, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all A, B, C, D, and E. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Spirit's like, no, you're supposed to create it without it because no one else has done it yet. Okay, so everything happens for a reason, guys. If you go to do something particular and it changes, just take it as a sign and thank the universe that you didn't think of it, because there's a reason for everything. Okay, guys, whatever that is. Even those moments where you think nothing is coming in and nothing is happening for you, those moments are dedicated for time and reflection, and probably shedding some blocks and getting rid of some stuff that you don't need so you can move forward, you know? You learn that you might get custody of your grandson. You're not prepared. You don't have to be prepared. Okay, you might think that you need physical stuff, that you need things, and even emotionally, if you don't feel prepared. The only thing a child wants is to be acknowledged and to be supported in whatever they're doing, whether they're being creative or they want to be creative or they want to play. I mean, it's all and only creativity and feeling loved as a child. That's all you think about, is what makes you feel snuggly and cozy and safe, and how much fun can I have today. So it doesn't matter the stuff. If anything, like, I have 4 children and we're trying to get rid of stuff that like doesn't serve a purpose to them. I'm trying to teach them, like, okay, yeah, like, why do you have so many dolls? Do you even know how many you have? Like, you know, they might see it and be like, oh, that's my favorite one, but it really doesn't matter because they don't think of it if it's not there, you know? So I am so happy you came across this too, Haley. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If any of you would like a one-on-one reading, I do micro readings through Hey Hero. So what you would do is click on intuitioncc.com, and then right away I have 2 ways to get video response readings. One's through Hey Hero and one is through Memo. Memo is more international, but anybody can use Memo. But my $15 micro readings are on Hey Hero. All right. Being 54, you're anxious. Well, I mean, my husband's 49. My husband's 49, and we have a 1.5-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old and a 19-year-old. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just love. Like, and something that my husband says all the time is like, you know, people might say, you're going to be 70 when they start driving. Like, one, are they really, are they going to start driving? I have no idea. Like, are we going to, I might live on a farm. They'll probably be driving vehicles that before they're even 16 years old. Who knows? 2, he says that he is a better father now at this age than he could have ever been when he was younger. And it really has to do with priorities and finding yourself and, you know, settling down, or whatever that means to some people. So, yeah, a child just wants to feel wanted. They just thinks, yeah, they just want to feel like, acknowledge me, play with me, feed me when I'm hungry, you know, like, that's really all they think about. They remember, and you may not think that they remember, like, the good times or things like that, but, like, or the bad times, the good times, the bad times. It's not about that for them. They don't think of life that way. They just remember, like, an overall feeling, you know? So, again, thank you guys so much, and I really hope to see some of you guys book the $15 micro reading. I'll leave it open for about an hour after this live for you to check it out. Again, head to intuitioncc.com, and right at the top you'll see that I'm featured on Hey Hero and Memo, and you can click right on the word Hey Hero. I've done just about 1,400 readings on that site, and I have over 75 reviews, which is one of the most reviewed psychics on there. So I love that platform. I love connecting with you. You guys can put on pictures. You can put pictures on there. I connect with pets. I've done pet readings, find missing people, missing pets. I've even found missing pets. And then you'll get a video response sent back to your email. All right. Oh, I'm so glad that you got to my live too. I went on a little bit earlier. I think I'm just gonna, like, you know, randomly from now on, because yeah, I don't know, why not? I find it, I've grown out of being able to do things repetitively. Sometimes gets a little scary for me. I'm like, oh no, I gotta change it up. I gotta change it up. So I am, oh, hey Pam, long time no see. Hey, thanks so much for being here. But yeah, guys, let me just, before I go, let me just tell you a little bit how I started this journey. It might help you decide whether or not a reading is for you. Oh, you're battling COVID. I'm so sorry. I don't know, I'm in Florida. It's so sunny. There's vitamin D every day. Like, our family's gotten sick, but it was only like the common cold. I mean, we even got tested for it. I didn't even know the name of the common cold. It was called rhinovirus. Like, that's crazy. So, thank you so much. Oh, your 8-year-old has it. Oh my gosh, take care of him. Take care of him. Send some good vibes. Speaking of sickness, so basically how I started this as a psychic, I did a random reading for a friend. I had never done a reading for someone else before. I kind of kept it to myself, and she was very gracious in accepting the reading that I wanted to give her. And at the end of the reading, my mind just did it. It did a whole body scan on her. And in that body scan, we figured out, you know, that she had an area in her breast that was like really red. It was like blinking red at me, flashing red. And then a yellow area in her pelvis. Well, come to find out, over some time, we found out she actually had breast cancer, and she had 2 lumps in her colon. And after she had told me that, it kind of sparked this realization that the images and the pictures and the messages that I receive are meant to be. They're meant to be told. They're meant to be spoken. They're meant to be said. Because if I had not said anything that day, and I was fearful that day of giving her that reading, because I reached out to her, if I was fearful that day, that who knows like where her health would have been or could have been. So, you know, that changed my life, and that really caused me to come out and start kind of being here for, oh, you're getting your ovaries checked next week. Yes, I remember the reading, and I cannot tell you why, but I thank you for trusting me. But I even remember it now, Steph, like when I did your reading and I saw one that looked a little bit different than the other. It was catching my attention. It needed me to see it for some reason. So I'm glad that you're going with your gut on that and getting that checked. So, oh, your birthday soon, Pam. Thanks. All right, guys. Well, I am headed out. The little one can see me in the window, and I think she needs her bumbas. So, if you guys want to check that out, the link is a little bit different this time. It's intuitioncc.com. You're going right to my main page, but you can get to Hey Hero and Memo right at the top there. If you are interested on a one-on-one video Zoom, okay, you just head right to the bottom, and that's where you can find like a 15-minute chat, a 30-minute chat, an hour chat, and we can even do 2 people for an hour and a half. So siblings or family members, things like that, and then you guys can take turns going back and forth. So, oh, I'm sorry I didn't alert you. Maybe you gotta like follow me, unfollow me, and then click the bell. I don't know, this algorithm, you know, it messes with us. We need a psychic for just the algorithm, man. Anyway, I do appreciate you sticking this out and, you know, start manifesting those desires that you guys have, okay? Thank you so much, and I'll be back on a couple, you know, every now and then, a couple days, but remember, Tuesdays and Fridays, Tuesdays and Fridays, Tuesdays and Fridays, okay? And even if you can't make the live on Fridays, I do the $15 micro readings all day. So as long as you're able to get on the internet that day, you'll be able to get access to $15 micro reading. All right, so go check it out. Go check out my website, intuitioncc.com. There's some cool stuff on there. All right, thank you so much, guys.